Hello, this is Dumont, back for Transformers Comic Books issue number 8 review. As you can see by the cover, it's the Dinobots. The Dinobots, the Dinobots, the Dinobots. Need I say more? These guys are very popular, very, very cool. I mean, it's hard not to like them because dinosaurs, insects, and, monsters, creatures, aliens, these things are always popular with little kids and even adults. It's just always been fascinating. So, all right, this issue is pretty cool because it includes 2 major battles involving the Dinobots. Now let's go into the story. The story is Ratchet just made a very, very difficult deal with Megatron where he's pretty much bargaining his life for in exchange that he's going to show Megatron a way to destroy Shockwave. And it's just like, how is this going to be possible? Well, anyway, he's off to Antarctica to look for the Dinobots. He actually finds the Dinobots. The first one he excavates is actually Slag, and he taps into the brain of Slag and finds out. It shows through a flashback or through scanning his memory. It actually shows the battle between the Dinobots and Shockwave, which is a very interesting battle. Pretty much the Ark saw Shockwave, it sensed Shockwave coming in. So in defense, at the time, 4 million years ago, the dinosaurs roamed the Earth, and these were like the most intelligent beings on the planet. So they completely created these transforming robots based off of the dinosaurs. And so the Dinobots were created, and they were actually sent to defend the Ark against Shockwave. So the battle happens, and at first it looks like the Dinobots are actually beating up on Shockwave, and it turns out, to my surprise, that Shockwave was only toying with them and single-handedly defeats the Dinobots. And this is a big surprise. I never thought this would ever happen. So once again, whoever has been doing this comic book must be a big fan of Shockwave, and it's really got me interested and created more respect for Shockwave. Before, like I said, Shockwave was 2 of the only Transformers that my parents ever bought me, and 1 of 2 of Transformers, right? And I wasn't really that into Shockwave. Now I'm so glad that I had him back then as a kid. Too bad I couldn't really appreciate him as much as I can now. Shockwave is pretty freaking awesome. The character is awesome. But anyway, due to complete luck, the Dinobots are able to take out Shockwave. But they both kind of get taken out of commission together. So for 4 million years, they're going to be completely inactive, both the Dinobots and Shockwave. So it's kind of like a draw, right? So, Ratchet is able to get this information, and he sends it to Megatron. And Megatron is surprised. He's like, wow, Ratchet, you've kept your bargain. You're showing me, how the Dinobots did it. So they go off to their meeting place, the meeting point where the bargain's supposed to take place. Of course, Megatron, as expected, is going to betray Ratchet. But Ratchet, he anticipated this, so he had the Dinobots already there. And basically, the Dinobots attack Megatron. And so this is the second major battle that the Dinobots are in within this issue. And to my surprise, Megatron single-handedly defeats all of the Dinobots, and I'm going, wow, this is totally unexpected. I thought Grimlock by himself would be just as strong as Megatron, or if not a little bit more powerful. So this was very surprising to me. And it's actually Ratchet who pulls off the victory and defeats Megatron by himself. And even though it's pure luck, he still does it. And just reading the comics up to this issue so far, I never cared for Ratchet, never cared for the toy. Well, guess what? Now I'm really, really impressed with Ratchet. I really like his character. It's just amazing now because what I like about him is, first of all, he's his intelligence. He's just a medical chief officer, and he realizes that he's not a warrior, yet he's able to adapt and become that warrior. Optimus Prime is like, you're the last hope of the Autobots. This is where you need to show valor. You need to become a warrior, and you know what? Ratchet pulls it off, and even Megatron says to him, you've shown bravery and all this and that, and that's a huge, huge compliment, I think. So Ratchet has completely won me over, and aside from being able to show his warrior part, being able to adapt and being able to pull this off under extreme dire circumstances, because he had a huge weight on him, and it still is, but the fact that he's able to even pull it off this far is amazing. And before all this, his personality is just very curious. His willingness to learn. He wants to find out more things about humans and other life forms, on Earth and stuff like that. And it's just very impressive. I like him a lot, very, very much. Okay, so I got to mention this real quick. From my understanding, the Generation 1, the G1 toy of Ratchet was pretty much like a repaint of Ironhide. Both of them did not even have heads. Yes, it was just like a windshield, and that's it. So that's got to be pretty disappointing, especially since when looking at the actual cartoon and also the comic books, I do like his head mold. I think it's really cool looking. So for people who want that kind of Ratchet based off of the comic books and the actual cartoon, I guess the classics lines produced a more accurate looking Ratchet. And also, from my understanding, non-official, because of popular demand to the fans, some of these companies have created alternatives where you could put on an attachment of a face, so he'll actually look more like the actual cartoon or the comic books. So I think those are very, very clever. I totally support those companies that actually do that. They're making stuff that Hasbro has not made for whatever reason. And I think that is a great idea, and every toy company should probably have something like that, and it would be really dumb for them to sue them for copyrights or anything like that. I am in total support, because without the fans, you're not going to have customers, and those companies are 100% for the fans.